morning, good morning, good morning. Can't tell you how humbled and honored I am to be speaking in front of you here today. Today I want to share with you kind of my story about turning adversity into action. How do we unleash the hero inside us? To me, it kind of starts with an awesome quote from Christopher Reeve, superhero on and off the big screen. Hero is an ordinary individual who finds strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Everyone in this room, everyone has obstacles. We've had monumental obstacles, you've had small obstacles, maybe something big that you're in the middle of right now that you're faced with. Well, I'm here to tell you that I think that opportunities are disguised as obstacles. Each one of those obstacles provides us with an opportunity to choose how we react to that obstacle, to choose the path and how we want to respond. My story starts 5 years ago, October 2012. Greatest day of my life, my son, my firstborn son was brought into the world, right? For all the parents, I know you can share in that elation when you bring a child into the world. And, you know, for us dads especially, right? You have a son and you're convinced, like, I'm going to be the greatest dad of all time, right? That's how our dads think. I'm gonna raise this kid and he's going to be the greatest kid because I'm an amazing dad. And that's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to raise him to be amazing. And, and that's a great feeling. Then you get home and reality sets in. There is no return policy. There is no mute button. There is no automatic diaper changer. Might be an idea there in the crowd. But 2 weeks after that huge moment, that pivotal high, pivotal low for my family and I was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma. Melanoma is the most deadly form of skin cancer that there is, one of the most leading causes of death amongst cancer, and very limited treatments 5 years ago. Not a lot of good options. And so I went to the doctors, and I remember him laying out two distinct paths for me. One path, option A, was we could do this Hail Mary surgery in hopes of it, saving my life, taking care of the 18-pound tumor in my abdomen. 18 pounds, quickly growing to be the largest organ in my body. We could do that, and hopefully we can make it through that surgery. We don't know if you'll make it off the table. We don't know how far beyond that you'll live. We don't know how involved it is until we get in there. Giant unknown, giant risk. Or we can go with option B, and we can take the risk adverse, we can make you comfortable, and essentially you might have weeks, we'll make you comfortable, and you can kind of just wait to die. Wow, those are great options. So I'm kind of I'm a little bit more of a positive thinker, so I said, okay, well, to me it's pretty clear. I have a son, I have a wife I've only been with for 2 years. It's pretty clear that I need to lay all my cards on the table, and we need to go all in and try to beat this thing and go with the surgery. And so we did. And going into that, how scary to not know if you're ever going to wake up again. Right? You're going into a surgery where you don't know if you're ever going to wake up. You don't know if you're going to see your loved ones ever again. You don't know what's going to happen on the other side. You're just hoping and praying and thinking, oh my gosh, I can beat this. So in those moments, I felt as though I had two choices then mentally. One was I could kind of isolate myself, seclude myself, kind of shut down and just wait. Wait for things to just solve themselves. Wait for me to die mentally, and then the physical stuff would follow. Or I could choose hope. I could choose to be hopeful. I could choose to be positive. Even in the fear of death, even facing that, I could choose whatever I wanted to do with it. I had that power. It didn't mean that I would live or that I would die. It didn't mean anything else, but I could choose to live out whatever I had left, however way I chose to do it. Once you choose hope, anything is possible. And so when I went through that surgery, I ended up coming out. The next 6 months, they were rough. The recovery was bad. I was met with obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Treatments that went bad. More surgeries, more massive surgeries, back through the same spot, same physical recovery. Harder and harder each time mentally. But every time, right, I always preach to my guys, fake it till you make it. I'm a soccer coach. Right? Control the controllables. That's always a big thing. If if I can control my attitude, if I can control my perspective, if I can control how I'm going to approach facing some big obstacles and facing that adversity in my life, I put myself in the best possible position to succeed. I put myself in the best possible position to get through that. I can choose that. That's an amazing power. So as we go on, as I move through it, for the next 2.5 years, I'm met with adversity and obstacles and bad news, surgery after surgery, failed treatment after failed treatment. It kind of seemed like at some point, I just wasn't supposed to live. And that was hard to deal with. And not every day was sunshine and roses. I'd put on a happy face. And one of the big things, one of my coined phrases that I'd always say is like, I'm going to dominate. I'm going to dominate cancer. Bring it. I'd talk smack to cancer, right? Social media, I'd blow it up. I'm going to bring it today. I'm in treatment. Boom, right? Let's dominate this thing. Cancer's going down, right? And then I'd get home and, maybe fall weeping to my wife, things are bad. But, the biggest thing in those moments is I didn't let those down times, I didn't let those moments turn to hours. I didn't let those hours turn to days and days turn to weeks, where I just wallow in my sorrow and curl up and feel sorry for myself. I let those moments pass. I embraced that emotion. I let that dust settle, and then pick myself back up and say, okay, recalibrate. We have to refocus ourselves now. What's the task at hand? I have a newborn son. I have to dominate this thing for him. He can't grow up without a father. That's not an option. Not an option. So as I move forward, 2.5 years of constant, bad news, failed treatments. The community rallied behind my story. This community is amazing. They didn't rally behind it because I'm some extraordinary person. They rallied behind it because of my attitude and my perspective. And they wanted to get behind something good in a time where we're so inundated with such negativity and bad information. And it just wants to overwhelm you that you forget, and it blocks out the light. The darkness can just become overwhelming. And this community rallied behind and raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for my family and I. Quite literally funded my life so I could go everywhere imaginable and seek out the best treatments everywhere. At 2.5 years later, I found a treatment at Mayo Clinic. I went from weeks to live to 8-month expectancy, life expectancy with stage 4 melanoma, far surpassing all of those things, to now a treatment to success. As I stand before you today, 18 months cancer-free. Boom. Boom. Right? And again, that's not because I'm some special person. It was just a perspective. I embraced the positivity. I embraced hope. I embraced that path. I chose my path. And you don't have to be faced with death. You don't have to be faced with cancer. You don't have to be faced with a catastrophic event, but maybe you are. And it's okay to be down in that moment. It's okay to be frustrated at those walls and obstacles that keep coming before you. It beats you down. Yes, it does. But pick yourself back up. Push through it. If there's a passion and there's a fire that's lit inside you, pour gasoline all over it. Let that baby burst. Embrace that. Use that to your advantage. Through my journey, I recognized a major flaw in the ability to, if it wasn't for the community to rally behind me, my family and I, we would have been bankrupt. I know I wouldn't be here. I don't know where my family would be financially or otherwise, emotionally, from what would have unfortunately happened during that. And there were little opportunities and resources that would spring upon us. We have this one-time grant for $500. That's great, thank you. That will hopefully help me with a hotel stay. I was commuting for 8 months back and forth to Jacksonville, Florida, right? Along with the co-pays and everything else that went along with that. That was immense stress. Out of kind of dealing with that, the community funding my life, I thought, how can I pay this forward? How can I create my own thing to bridge the gap for other people that are faced with life-altering circumstances of all kinds? It doesn't have to be cancer. It doesn't have to be something cataclysmic. It could be something smaller, something that you're just battling, but you need some help to get through it so that you can focus on the things that you need to keep your perspective on, the things that are important, so you can stay hopeful. Out of that, Fund a Life was born. It's a nonprofit that just helps people and individuals and families in times of life-altering circumstances. We support people emotionally and financially through those times so that they can focus on things perspective. And again, all of us sitting in here, I guarantee if I took a poll, everybody in this room probably feels ordinary. Going back to the original quote, we probably feel like just like normal people, right? On good days, I know us guys, we're all a little bit full of ourselves. We probably feel like superheroes. We probably feel like Superman. I try to tell myself that every day. My wife brings me back down to reality. But we have the power to do amazing things. And again, opportunities are disguised as obstacles. What are your obstacles? How are you choosing to respond to them? What path are you choosing to go down? Be the light in the darkness. Thank you.
The Hero Roundtables are the global events that ask the question, what is a hero? You've just seen one hero talk. To find more and join the conversation, visit our website or social media.